Hey guys, so this is going to be a Book of Shadows update. I am probably going to be doing these every so often because this is a work in progress that I have really dedicated myself to. There are a few other videos that I have made from the start to where I am now, and I'm probably going to make a playlist of all of those, so if you guys want to go through and see the progression. But this is where my Book of Shadows is currently as of May 12th, 2019. I, over the last few days, have been working on it rather diligently, and I'm going to go to the craft store tomorrow and get more stuff to work on it. So I'm pretty excited. There will probably be another update soon here as I progress further. But I wanted to share with you guys what I have so far. This book's getting fat. See? It's getting pretty fat. In the last video I did, this was not here. I actually took this out of my planner that I have for the year. The artwork is by Kate Daisy, and I really, really liked it. And it says Believe in Magic, so I thought that was perfect to put right here. And then I also added this little stamp or wax seal that was sent in a letter to me. It's got the sun and the moon on it. I know it's a little hard to see. I added this on this page. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this yet. Maybe a book blessing or something. I haven't quite gotten to that point where I felt inspired to really do much on this part, but I just put that there because I thought it was very pretty and I could work with it. You guys have seen this page. The only thing that I added was this cute little goddess right here that was sent to me by a very good friend of mine. Another witch. This I did last night. This is my personal astrological information, which is my 3 major signs, because I have my birth chart to refer to here for all of the other stuff. But I did watercolors for each of the signs. So this is my sun sign in Aquarius, and then my moon sign in Cancer, and I am a Leo rising. So, and then I just did little blurbs on each of those. And I have this sticker here, and then this sticker here with this girl. She's got the zodiac wheel behind her. This again was sent to me by the same friend who sent me this, so I thought that was really fitting to put all of that there. I also recently found online, I looked up in my birth chart my according to my birth chart, my dominant elements. So I drew this out and put it in colored pencil, and then I drew all of the elemental symbols, and then I did a key up here. And then I have a quote here that's pertaining to water, because I thought at the time that I was water dominant, but apparently my water and air presence in my birth chart are really, really close, but I'm just slightly more air dominant, which I thought was very interesting to find out. But I'm going to add more information on that down here, and maybe do a write-up on like my thoughts and interpretations and how I feel it kind of works in my personality. But I find the thing that's interesting is that the one thing that I lack the most is earth, which seems to make sense. So with that being said, in my last video, these two the pentacle and then the quote here that says walk barefoot, listen to the wind, drink in the moon, and be magic. This was here before, but I added this little goddess right here. I'm going to be adding more personal symbols of power, things that I align with, probably some runes and some various other things. This page was not here before. I completed this page. This is my personal tarot cards. So these two are my birth cards calculated by numerology and using my birth date. So this is the Empress and the World. And then down here is the Star, which is the astrological card for Aquarius. And then I just wrote up little keys on these and how they kind of apply to my personality and my life. And then I added some really fitting little washi tape sticker too, which I thought was awesome. And then I've got a Sharpie up here, and silver Sharpie and bronze Sharpie too. The next is spiritual animals that I am connected to spiritually so far. Again, I have not added to this page quite much. Last time I made a video on my Book of Shadows, the only thing that was in here was the orca, so this has not really been updated. This has, however, this is starting my kind of like self-care section. So I put this artwork, again, this is an artwork piece by Kate Daisy. I have her planner, so I took some of the artwork out of the planner that I'm using for this year, which is this right here. And once I'm done with this completely for the year, I'm probably going to take more artwork out of it and use it in various things, because I love her artwork. But I figured to open this with this that says I am brave, that is just fantastic, and I thought it was a really good way to kind of start this whole section. So in this section here, I have just magical quotes and blessings that I resonate with. The first says, trust the magic. And then there's a little quote here that says, she is water powerful enough to drown you, soft enough to cleanse you, and deep enough to save you. And then this is one of my favorite quotes. It says, it's okay to fall down and lose your spark. Just make sure that when you get back up, you rise as the whole damn fire. I found this quote right after my mom passed away, and actually it just really helped me. This is a little piece from a tea bag that I had that said, plant kindness and gather love, plant kindness and gather love. And then I printed off this little piece of artwork that says, trust the universe, trust yourself. I'm going to add more here as I kind of go along. Then I have dedicated this whole area to bath magic. So it says, follow your bliss, and then it's got this beautiful picture of a lovely bath that I would love to immerse myself in. It's got crystals and herbs and flowers and all that fun stuff. And then I'm going to kind of write down recipes and things that I tend to do in the bath, because that's one of the most common things that I tend to do to release and let go and decompress and cleanse myself. And then I have a sticker here from ifightLikeAGirl.com, which is basically a website for chronic illness, women who struggle with chronic illness. And it says, I claim my power. On this section, I just added this print off from this artwork here, and this is going to be teas and brews and coffee magic, anything like that. So various teas that I like to drink, and then intentions and stuff when I drink my coffee, and kind of ways that I stir or bless my coffee in the morning sometimes, and things like that. This section I have started, and this just has a sigil that says, I will find relief from my pain. This is supposed to mostly deal with my chronic pain, my depression, things like that, and handling that sort of stuff. I might dedicate these two following pages to that as well. We'll just kind of see how it goes, but I've started that here as well. And then this part starts my whole section on the moon. I really want to have a good section, like a good chunk on the moon, because I work with the moon rather heavily. So this is moon phases, and then it has like just some intentions for each moon phase. I'm going to add more here. This is just a paper that I'm using as some notes that will be included in here. This is another piece from my planner, which is another piece of artwork from Kate Daisy. It says, you are my sun, my moon, and all my stars. I thought that was very fitting to put in here. It's just beautiful. A recipe for moon water, which was in here before, so you guys have seen that, as well as the moon phases. These two pieces have been in here for a while. And then on the other side of my moon water, I just put this other little powerful moon affirmations, and I'm gonna put lots and lots of stuff about the moon. I have a lot of different ideas, and that's probably going to be these pages here. It might even be all these pages. We'll see how far I get and where I want to go with that. This stuff has been in here for quite some time. This was written in 2011, so this is all older stuff. This was written in 2012. This is stuff that I just did not want to get rid of when I restarted this book. This is a fertility spell that I did in 2014, and I used it again in 2016 to conceive both of my children. This is a call to the Morgan. I do not work with her anymore, but I figured I'd keep it because it's part of my history. You guys have probably seen this as well. This is not something that was new. This is artwork from, I believe her name is Kim Harrison, if I'm not mistaken. So this starts kind of more of the planning stage in my Book of Shadows. There is various pieces of artwork throughout the rest of this book, but I'm just going to kind of go through it because I've started to lay it out even more extensively. So this starts the section on time. So seasons, days, hours, sabbats. So I'm going to do days, planetary hours, and just times of the day, like morning, afternoon, evening, night, what they are best set for your intentions. The Wheel of the Year. I'm going to have several different images on the Wheel of the Year. This is the first one that I started with, though. There's another one that I have saved that's really extensive too, so I'm going to put that in here. So that couple of pages, a few pages dedicated to the Wheel of the Year and the seasons, and then I'm going to start with Yule. Because I always think the wheel starts with Yule. I know a lot of people say it starts with Samhain, but it always seems to start with Yule for me. I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. So a few pages dedicated to Yule, and then we go into Imbolc, which is not a holiday that I work with a lot, so I'm probably just going to have 2 pages on it, and then this photo of a candle in snow, and then that will end winter, so then we'll go into spring with Ostara and Belladonna, which I'm going to do several pages on, and then Lipa and Lughnasadh. Forgive my messy handwriting, that's just my scribbles. And then we go into fall, which is my favorite season, and I'm going to be dedicating most of the most pages to fall, because this is the season, like I said, it's my favorite season, it's the one I work with the most. So I'm going to have a lot on Mabon. And this is another piece from Kate Daisy. It says, "And all at once summer collapsed into fall." So I thought that was perfect. So then we go into Samhain. This is another cutout that I got from Witch Baby Soap. This was in here before, but it says, "The trees are about to show us how lovely it is to let the dead things go." So I'm going to have a whole section here on Samhain, because it's a really big holiday for me, being so involved in ancestral work. And then this will be starting my section on magic and the types of magic. So once again, I cut out another piece from my planner, and it says, "There is magic about you that is all your own." So now I'm going into the types of magic. I will be having cleansing, which I have started with some of the most commonly used herbs for cleansing. There will be a section on cedar here. That is the one that I use the most. I actually don't really like to use sage very much, and I don't really use Palo Santo a whole lot either, but I figured I'd have them in there because they're very common. And then I have a section of healing and blessing, and then empowering, charging, because charging and empowering they're similar but different to me, so I kind of wanted them to be close together. I started a section on candle magic, warding, banishing, a little bit on cursing. I'm not really one for cursing, but I want information on it in here, and reverence. And I want to have a pretty good chunk on reverence, because that's actually a lot of what my workings are, aside from protection magic and whatnot. And then cosmic witchcraft will be here. Weather, like rain magic and all that stuff. And then I'm leaving some extra pages in case I feel like there's anything else I kind of want to go into for types of magic. And then this will be the elements. So the 5 elements: earth, water, air, and spirit. I'm actually leaving a pretty good chunk here. This might shift a little bit depending, just because the elements are pretty important to me. I work with them pretty heavily in my practice. And then this will start crystals. The crystal section is not going to be very big. I'm basically just keeping elemental correspondence, a list of crystals that I use typically the most by ailment, and then personal favorites of mine, and then some information on crystal grids is just my intentions to put in here. So I've got some photographs in here, some cutouts that I did, and then a piece of artwork just kind of randomly thrown in there. This will start the section on divination. I plan on covering tarot, runes, different scrying methods, so water, fire, black mirror, all that stuff. Pendulum a little bit, probably about a page or so, and then tea leaf reading, which is one I have not learned yet, but I'm really, really wanting to get into that. So I have a little bit of cutouts that I've started for tarot, and I'm gonna not go into all of the 78 cards. I have a journal that's dedicated to that on its own, so I'm just going to have like cutouts and charts and stuff for tarot. even though tarot is a big part of my practice. I have other places that's dedicated to that. And then home and hearth magic. So I have an image of an altar here. I have said who this was by before in some of my other previous videos. So when I make a playlist, I will just make sure to include that in there because she is awesome. But in home and hearth magic, I tend on doing a section on house deities, crystals for the home, and crystal grids and things like that, and then kitchen witchery, warding, banishing, and then family magic, so like dream or bath magic or parenting magic, things that I use with my children. And then I pasted this. This is another picture from Cape Daisy from my planner. This beautiful cabin and these beautiful trees. I just thought it was really fitting in this section. So that's a good chunk that's going to be. And then this is a birthday card that drew She Who Walks Between the Worlds Made Me. And then I'm going to have my whole section on deity. I threw this in here because I kind of liked like it almost seems like the cycle of life and death. I don't know why I looked at it that way, but I did. So I kind of felt like that was fitting to put in there with deity. So I'm going to have a section on Freya and Odin and Yggdrasil, and then I do plan on doing a section on Santa Morte as well, and then leaving quite a bit in case any other deities. Another piece of artwork from my planner that I had just kind of randomly thrown in here. And this last section is going to be symbols, signs, superstitions type stuff. So weather, lore, magic, animal signs, sigils, just various signs and stuff. I might make this a smaller section, not as large as this. I might save more room to do other things, but that's one of the best parts about doing this this method with the sticky notes and kind of planning out where you're going to put stuff is it really helps you lay out your book. So this is something that I highly recommend. I know I have talked about this in my previous Book of Shadows tours, but I'm going to mention it each time because it was detrimental for me to be able to plan this out this way. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This is my current progress so far. I will make that playlist on my channel so you can kind of watch through the other videos and see the progression that I have made. And I will continue to share my progress as I move along with this. I am so incredibly proud of myself for doing this. It is so huge. And I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So I'm just happy to take you along with my journey on working with my Book of Shadows. I will be sharing another project that I'm working on, which is a journal that is specifically dedicated to studying certain tarot decks. And it's going to kind of have a lot of the same feel where there's a lot of imagery. It kind of has that like bullet journal-y, but not bullet journal type, you know, if that makes any sense. So hopefully once I kind of get going on that, and I will share that as well once. But with that being said, this is what I've made so far on my progress for my Book of Shadows. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. And look for more of these, because more of these will pop up as I do more in my Book of Shadows, and I take you guys on that journey with me. Blessed be.